First time I ever watched 2001: Space Odyssey, I was probably like 7. I didn't know what was happening, and then there were suddenly monkeys, and I think I fell asleep within the first 30 minutes. The first time I watched it all the way through, I was probably 16. I was blown away at that point. Everything else is these huge jumps to crazy super future or like a whole different galaxy, right? And that one kind of kept it down to earth. You had to spin the ship so you could keep the gravity. And of course, now I understand why they were doing that, where what we want to do and what we need to do is to design a craft that allows all the luxuries of being a human on a planet that's open, and the ability to walk and move around freely, to communicate with those that you love, and to still be able to do your work at the same time. We're working to look at the human first, and then work the engineering around him or her.
Why movies are so powerful is because when you're watching it, you're brought into the scene and the movie evokes a lot of emotion in you.
The movies that are based on like true stories about like scientists, engineers, I think those are really inspiring. They make you feel like, wow, this person has done something so great. You know, you want to kind of be like them. So I think they have a pretty big role.
As a female engineer, the way that I see other female engineers being portrayed, or female scientists, or any females in the STEM major, they don't really seem as someone who is as competent as their male colleagues.
I do apologize for that. By the way, if I cause you any problems, I am sorry.
I believe that movies will be able to encourage women, children, people of all races and genders to do whatever they feel like doing, and the STEM field is no exception.
The first person who pops to my mind was the space commander in The Martian. I was so happy when I found out a female was making those calls. I think that was a good example of women being tough and being in charge.
We do this together or not at all.
When people watch movies, they kind of put themselves in that scenario. If they see a female actress, they think they can become that actress, which helps.
If I had to make a movie about our research, it would be kind of like one of those Pixar movies where you see all the action, where you see little robots going through and they're fighting bad guys. And although it's not necessarily accurate, it's a good depiction of how eventually we want these robots to be inside your bodies fighting whatever is bad.
Swarm of robots, harness the power of strength in numbers. They can't do anything by themselves, but they can do a lot with each other.
Our ultimate goal is being able to navigate these micro and nano robots inside the body. In order to do that, we are working on the controllers with bigger robots, because we are just now trying to see that if it is possible to control a large number of robots with very limited inputs.
When it comes to people who aren't engineers, movies do a really good job of making it pretty and cool. We are getting a team together to finance, design, manufacture, market, and race a formula-style racing car. If I were to turn this research project into a movie, something like Fast and the Furious and The End of Little Rascals, where they just have this derby race and it's completely falling apart the whole time, but they do it.
You get these movies that are so fantasy, but we work towards them because someone had the imagination to move you towards them. I mean, I don't know how long it would have taken us to start talking about faster than light travel or time travel. Just think of something, put it out there, and then it might one day be possible, right? No matter how ridiculous it sounds. These more engineering-based movies and science fictions become more exciting as they become a more viable option.
Most of the scientists and engineers that exist now often went into this area because they saw science fiction movies, and they got inspired by the cool gadgets like the hoverboard and whatnot.
I need to borrow your hoverboard. Where is he? Here.
Using superconducting technology, they can make these objects levitate in air. If I were a student, there'll be nothing more impressive than a middle-aged professor entering a classroom on a hoverboard. We want to build this hoverboard to inspire young children to get excited about mechanical engineering and show that how versatile mechanical engineering can be. We can do things all the way ranging from building missiles to airplanes to hoverboards.
I think romanticizing it and making it fun is a big part that you have to do, because a lot of it is work and it's hard. But when you get to the end, that's the fun part, and then you get to like sit and say, wow, we did this. And that's what it's about. So definitely when it comes to people who aren't scientists or engineers, being able to romanticize that and make that fun definitely brings a lot of different type of people to the crowd, which I like.